hot.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Garver.
Welcome back to 32 Teams, the real fantasy football show. I feel like I'm on ACDC. Yeah, Becky Black. Wow, that rocks. That's going to wake you up. That's good stuff coming out of the locker room, right? Getting all jacked up.
Getting pumped for the season.
He was the greatest long snapper the league had ever seen.
Wow, welcome back to 32 Teams, the real fantasy football show. I'm your co-host, Philip Galinsky with Heath Kelts. We are giving you the quarterbacks today. This is the quarterback edition. We are live every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on Chataboutitcallers.com. Please call us at 877-242-8212. Now remember, these are exact predictions of what's going to happen in fantasy football starting September 2010.
Oh my gosh, that is so not true. You're totally lying to them.
We have everything. This is why the internet is here. To get the information that you can't get anywhere else.
These are the first thoughts that we have.
But everybody has thoughts. That's why you got to listen to the show and listen to the archive. The archives, this is going to be genius come later on in the season.
Well, I mean, because we're starting now looking at all of because there are some football decisions that are made that have nothing to do with football.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that a lot in this time frame all the way through the training camp and everything.
But we just went through Arizona, Atlanta, and Baltimore. We put a little side bet on that Matt Leinart will not have as good a year as the Dirty Sanchez, Mark Sanchez. Now, eventually, Heath, you'll get your sound effects.
I know. I need to get the Miami Dolphins fight song in here to combat some of this
Jets goo-ness.
Yes.
Now, speaking of goo and ickiness, it's time to talk about the Buffalo Bills.
Wow. Yeah. Trent Edwards is listed as their starting quarterback on the Buffalo Bills website, but they also have Ryan Fitzpatrick and a guy named Brian Brom. Why would you draft any of these guys, I mean...
Because I was like...
I'm in the 12th round, and I'm really having a good time at the draft, and now I'm going to take that quarterback from Buffalo, and... they have a terrible offensive line. There's a new coach, Chan Gailey, and, there are injury concerns with Trent Edwards.
Didn't Chan Gailey just come from Georgia Tech where he was running the wishbone or something insanely?
He had Megatron. It was like the only reason that they won games, know?
Right.
But I think he was actually in the pro game last year as a coordinator or something. I didn't really... this isn't the coach's show.
All right, we're wasting even too much time.
It's really true. Why would you draft this guy? I have him as my 31st overall on my list of 32 quarterbacks. Why would you draft him?
Okay.
Don't even bother.
All right, so now we go to James Taylor in Carolina.
I have Matt Moore is the guy. Here's one of those. We were talking about it. Football decisions that have nothing to do with football. John Fox, the coach of Carolina, and Matt Moore are both in the last year of their deals. They jettisoned Delhomme out of town. And Matt Moore finished the season pretty well. He's in a contract year. If you look at the schedule, this might be one of those guys you pair with a Roethlisberger. And
I got you.
And we're gonna you don't want to take that quarterback till late. You could get Roethlisberger in the 12th round, and then I'm going to talk about some guys as we go through here that you could pair with him who have easier early schedules.
Right.
So Matt Moore.
That was an important note that we had in our pre-production meeting when we were talking to. When we were in that chat room with it was 800 fantasy football fans, and they didn't even really acknowledge the fact how important the schedule is. So Matt Moore having an easy early schedule will help you later. The value of having Roethlisberger later. I don't normally like anybody from Notre Dame.
Sure.
In fact, I have a disdain for the university itself, even though I drove there from Connecticut one time and almost died on the way back. But besides that, I think Jimmy Clausen has a shot to do something.
This is one of those situations we're going to have to look at in camp. And during the preseason, he could get beat out for a job, but I have a feeling that John Fox is going to ride that. He's a veteran guy. He's done it here for me already. And my job depends on it if I'm John Fox. And if Clausen outplays him, there it is. But it's Steve Smith and a bunch of inexperienced guys. So how good is the rookie going to be?
But I was surprised that Minnesota didn't take Jimmy Clausen in the draft.
Well,
because he was right there.
They made some other moves that they liked better.
All right, now let me talk to you, Heath, about the Chicago Bears. Now, last year, everybody was very excited about Cutler and Forte, and they're going to pass and run and be this incredible, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. It was like when the Bills got Quinn Early. Google free, Google Quinn Early. Now, what I'm saying to you is I think they really are going to rebound. I am really high on Cutler. I'm high on the whole thing, even though they really don't have a receiver.
The Mike Martz experiment is what you're interested in.
Yeah, I want to see what
in the Windy City.
Yep. You have no faith in that.
No, I don't. They have a horrific offensive line. That offensive system means that he's going to get hit a lot more. If you look at the bag boy, if you look at Bulger, the bag boy is Kurt Warner. They got hit a lot holding the football, waiting for Isaac Bruce to get open. And that's going to happen to him. And his receivers aren't Isaac Bruce.
Right.
And, Devin Aromashadu, I don't even know how you say his name. I mean, that's who they're hanging their hope on. Johnny Knox. I mean, these are decent players, but they have a poor offensive line, and the running game is an afterthought in the Mike Martz offense. And their best offensive weapon, Greg Olsen, you know how many passes the tight end has caught ever in a Mike Martz? The most passes a tight end has ever caught?
How many?
19 in a season.
Did you hear that, everybody? 19.
The only way that Greg Olsen is a factor is if they split him out wide.
Or clone him.
That being said, I have Jake Cutler as the 9th quarterback on here because he's going to throw the football a ton, but he's going to throw a lot of interceptions here as well. 3,500 to 4,200 yards.
I just think they have. I think the Bears and the whole thing have too much pride to be that bold to get Cutler to have it fail. I think, but it could totally explode. Now,